All right, guys. So I'm back with another video. So if you're building one app casually, Expo's starter plan might look fine, but if you're planning to build a lot of apps, client apps, MVPs, test flight builds, internal tools, gig economy apps, creator apps, whatever, and you already own a MacBook, I'm going to tell you straight up. The Expo starter plan is probably not the move. The smarter move is this command, EAS build dash dash local. That one command can save you money, save you headaches, and keep you building without watching your build credits disappear every time you make a native change. And this matters because builders don't need more subscriptions bleeding them dry. Builders need leverage. Now let's break this down, okay? So Expo's starter plan is currently listed at $19 per month and includes $45 of build credit for priority ES builds. That means you're not getting unlimited builds, you're getting a credit bucket. Now, this was the thing that confused me because I was like, well, um, what does that mean? What does it mean when you say I'm not getting unlimited bills, or what does it mean when you say $45 of build credit? So, if you're once this $45 credit bucket is gone, you're in usage based pricing territory, and so those credits get consumed by cloud workers, basically expose servers compiling your app for you. Okay, that's what the cloud workers are. The math gets real fast. A standard iOS build can cost around $2. A large iOS build can cost you around $4. So that $45 credit gets you roughly 22 standard iOS builds or about 11 large iOS builds. That sounds okay until you're in the trenches actually building, because mobile development is not clean. You change a native package, you fix a crash, you update permissions, you mess with push notifications, you test a new build profile, you fix signing, you rebuild for test flight, then boom, there goes another build. Now imagine doing that across 3, 4, 5 apps. That $45 credit is not a growth engine. That's a countdown timer. Now, here is where people get confused. They think the choice is either use Expo cloud builds or suffer inside raw Xcode. That's not the full picture. There's a better middle path. EAS build local. Expo's own docs say you can run the same EAS build process that normally runs on Expo servers directly on your own machine using the local flag. That is the cheat code because you still get the EAS pipeline, you still get the Expo build workflow, you still get automated credential and signing support, but instead of paying Expo's cloud workers to compile the app, your MacBook does the heavy lifting. Now, I had to do some research on this with Google's AI mode to kind of get all of this information a little bit quicker than I normally would have, right? So this means essentially that it's going to cost you $0 per local build. As far as build volume, it's going to be unlimited, practically speaking. Iteration speed is going to be way better because you're actively debugging, or when you're actively debugging. And if you're on an Apple Silicon MacBook M1, M2, M3, or M4, you may often beat the cloud standard worker simply because you're skipping the queue. There's no waiting for a worker, no burning credits, no rationing builds like you're in survival mode. You just build. This is bigger than one Expo command. This is about how you think as a developer. If you're building one polished startup app with a team and you want predictable cloud infrastructure, cool. Paid EAS plans can make sense. If you're building one polished startup app with a team and you want predictable cloud infrastructure, or actually, if you're a solo founder, freelancer, agency owner, or AI assisted builder trying to ship app after app, you need quite a different strategy. So you need to protect your cash, right? This is where I started at. You need to control your pipeline. And then this is still kind of how I operate, even though I have more cash flow. I still operate, with the strategy of it's called capital preservation. So you want to pretty much be utilizing as many tools as possible for as low cost as possible, right? And utilizing whatever free tools as well. So and that means, like I said, protecting your cash, controlling your pipeline. And you want to remove friction from your build loop. So because the faster you can go from idea to app to device, the faster you can validate. And the faster you can validate, the faster you can make money. So it's all about, getting this repeatable loop down packed so you can easily replicate it across different ideas. So this is the mistake that beginners make, is thinking that subscriptions is what makes them professional. No, execution makes you professional. A paid plan doesn't make you a builder. A working app on a real device does. Okay. So here's the workflow I recommend for you guys. Use Expo normally while you're developing. Use Expo Go when your app supports it. Use a development build when you need native modules. That's when it's time to compile, run EAS build platform iOS local or EAS build platform Android local. Expo confirms local builds work by using your local development environment, but you do need the native tools installed, meaning Xcode for iOS and Android Studio for Android. Also, physical iPhone builds still require a paid Apple developer account for signing. So no, this is not magic. You still need your machine set up correctly. But once it's set up, you stop paying every time you want to breathe. That is the point. So now, to be fair, the starter plan is not useless, right? It can still make sense. If you don't have a powerful machine, if you don't want to configure native build tools, if you don't need reliable cloud builds for a small team, or if you only build occasionally, or if you want priority queues and don't care about the extra cost, that's fine. But for a builder with a MacBook who plans to ship a lot, I would not start by throwing money at cloud builds. I'd start local, then upgrade only when the business demands it. That's how you move smart. So here's the final takeaway. If you own a MacBook and you're building multiple Expo apps, learn EAS build local. Don't burn your build credits testing basic changes. Don't let subscription limits slow down your momentum. Use Expo for the automation. Use your MacBook for the muscle. That's the best of both worlds. And this is how modern builders win: less waiting, less waste, and more shipping. If this helped, subscribe because I'm breaking down the real tools, workflows, and shortcuts developers need to build faster in the AI era. No fluff, just execution. Execute, push, ship.